are not publicized by these universities, but if they were, there's some pretty staggering numbers out there. You'll see on the screen we've got some usual suspects, some pretty familiar names of universities out there. And so when we start to look at endowments, and here's the reason why, endowments not only pay for buildings on a college campus, but they also are used for scholarships, and they're used to attract and retain great student talent. And so if you're looking for ways to really tap into scholarship dollars, endowments is a great place to start. And so let's start there in the left side, top left corner of your screen. There, Harvard University. That's $39 billion. Yes, billion like the TV show. $39 billion. In reality, Harvard could use that $39 billion. They could pay for every undergrad student on campus into perpetuity. They could cover tuition for everybody for any years on into the future. The rhetorical question is, of course, why don't they do that? Well, they don't have to. They know there's plenty of families out there that want to have the Harvard bumper sticker on the back of their minivan in the Chick-fil-A drive-through line saying, hey, look, my student and my dollars go to Harvard, right? They know there are plenty of people willing to pay. Now, that's not the knock on Harvard. They give great financial aid, by the way. But we also know that not everybody's going to go to Harvard. So let's look at a few other schools. We see our local Tar Heels right there, $3.7 billion. And then right next to them, we see Indiana University. And so want to look at Indiana and the school right below it, Grinnell College. It's likely that you've heard of one of them. Maybe you've heard of Grinnell as well. But Indiana's $2.5 billion endowment, not shabby at all. And Grinnell, $2.1 billion themselves. That's mere $400 million less, right? But if you allow us to do a quick Thanksgiving analogy, when you're thinking about the slices of pie or the scholarship dollars that your student could receive, let's dive a little bit deeper. Indiana has an undergrad enrollment of 43,000 students. And Grinnell has an undergrad enrollment of 1,700. So the question becomes, who's going to get the larger slice of pie? Mm-hmm. Pretty similar endowments, but 43,000 students versus 1,700. Again, there are plenty of schools out there, just like Grinnell. There's actually some right here in our backyard in North Carolina that have great endowment sizes and a low number of enrolled students. So they're going to be much more likely and much more willing to give those aid dollars out to families. So when you're thinking about doing your research and building out that school list for your students, often what we encourage families to do is go ahead and look at the endowment dollars too. And there's another number out there that you should research. If all you got to do is go to collegeboard.org. Sam's going to put that in the chat. So it's collegeboard.org. You can go and research any or all of these schools, any schools that your student is interested in. Number one, that's going to tell you sticker price. Number two, you can also find the number that's called percent of need met. That tells you how likely the school is to use these endowment dollars, for instance, for scholarships. That tells you how likely they are to give you aid. And so ultimately, there's schools that are going to give 100%. So if you have any financial need, they're going to help you out with that. Some other schools are going to give you maybe 65%. Some may give you closer to 50%. But knowing that ahead of time, how likely you are to get scholarships from a university can be a game changer. And so really, we look at these university scholarships first. And then there's plenty of other national and local scholarships. Again, we're going to give that resource to you. But really, as you're thinking about which schools may be a good fit for your student, think about how those endowment dollars might be a good fit for your wallet as well. And so thinking about how you tap into those dollars,